once you've got them all glued together, you've got your half dozen and you've got your glue dry-ish. And then the next thing you need to do is just very lightly touch on with your thing and a pish of steam. And then while it's still warm and damp, you just bend it back on itself. You see that?
Oh.
Yeah, because it's on the bias. On the bias means it's going to stretch. Exactly right, Kim, correct. So now I'm just going to pull it back, a little bit damp fingers, pull it back again and again until I get it to curl. And then once it's curling, that's enough. I do the same on the other side. And then I flip the thing over and do it on the other side so that it rolls back the other way. And then I flip it over and do it back the other side. I'm not too fussed down here, but if it gets a bit of a curl in, that's kind of good. And then the same applies here. It takes a little while to get the hang of it. Please don't imagine that you're going to be an expert first time round. But
are you rolling both pieces together?
Yes.
In the one direction?
Yes, I am. Correct. Some of you have done rolling before, and it's going to be a lot easier. Some of you might find it difficult. Just don't panic. Take your time. And one of the things that's kind of good with this is you have a bit of a go, and if it doesn't come easily, put it down, come back the next day, have another go. I'm going to upload the videos so that you can see me do it again. And once you've done it, it's a good idea to look at the video again, just so that you can see, maybe pick up something that you weren't doing the first time. So again, gently bend this and that with your fingers like that, and then roll it backwards.
You never tell the client that their hat's full of spit.
No, no. Or you could be like the person in the post office and have a little jar with a sponge.
I have a sponge sitting there if you
licking
want
my
it.
fingers.
And
I would do that.
but it's called Milliner's DNA, and you charge extra.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
how it works.
It's quite exclusive.
Thank you. Yes, that's right. So don't commit any murders, because
Yeah, they'll just
if
go
they
test the hats.
if they test the hat, they might find out who.
Or another way to look at it, if you do murder someone, don't use spit.
That's right, because if murder's a hobby that you've got, yeah.
And your DNA isn't on the database.
Thank you. That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So I'm up to 5, and I did a few before you came over because I wanted to not have you standing watching too terribly long. So I've bent that. See, there's a little bit of a raw edge there. So if you aren't entirely happy, you can tidy it up at any stage of the program. But these aren't sitting perfectly, so we can just tidy that all up like that. And so because you're designing it as you go, there's always modifications that you can do. Okay, so next we're pulling towards us, and then rolling it back like that. Same here. So that's the end bit, and then pull it back here.
Well, I'm glad Sharon's here to walk me through what we're doing. But the thing is, though, that the double-sided tape.
So then you've got your petals all done. So I'm doing these in a bit of a hurry because I don't want you to die of boredom. So then they're all sitting there. Now, if you wanted to, you could get some paint or a marker pen and do a little bit of a pish, pish, pish there, or a few little spots or whatever you fancy. Don't be too cheesy about it. But that's the sort of baseline. I haven't got any treatment on there. I've just used little ordinary stamens, but here I've got some little cute pearly lily stamens. So what I've got is 6. I've got a piece of wire which I've bent the end of, and then I'm putting these onto there, getting my glue. Whoopsie toopsie. Put a little dot of glue on there. Thank you very much, Laura.
What did you say you've done to the end of it? Burnt it, did you say?
I bent it.
Oh, bent it.
I've just found out there's some water in there. That wasn't part of the plan. And so I've got the thread in there as well. So I've just attached my little stamens to the stem so that they all stand up nicely. And now,
And you just bound that over the glue, didn't you?
yes, that's exactly right. And the glue embedded the thing. Now these have all got their stem. Oh, good on you, Dinny. You're a true professional, a videographer to the stars. So now I'm just going to pop this on here, but this time I'm going to wind the thread up above the green, all right? And that's my first petal. My second petal, I just put a lentil of glue onto the front of the second petal, and then I'm going to put that in beside the first one, and then I'm going to wrap over that and making sure that I don't see the green inside. The third one, look at this, it's already starting to look like a bought one, isn't it? Okay. And the third one goes in here, and make sure that the base of each petal is at the same point as the others so that it comes out nicely. All those naughty people. So you can see already that's a little cutie, right? And then the next lot go in between each of them. So it's the same old thing.
Right, so you put 3 and then, yeah.
You put the first 3, and then between each of the first ones you put the next 3. So starting to look very generous now, and you can see those fairly unremarkable petals are starting to look a little bit special. So there's the next one, and that's going in here, and I could stop at 5 if I wanted to, if I felt like that was enough. And then one more, don't even know where it goes, I'll try here, and Cecil B. DeMille's back. And now I've got all these stems, so it's making it nice and a little bit thicker. And now I'm just going to twist that all the way down so that I've got a nice thick stem. And I'm going to put a little dot on here so it embeds the thread. And then I'm going to go back up a little bit. Most likely this will disappear off when I shorten the stem. I've got black florist tape, but I should have white.
I've got white.
Thank you. And I could do a little, thank you, this is white paper tape, thank you so much. I could put a calyx on the back, but I can't, it's not a thing that really needs. And then I'm stretching the florist tape, and it's embedded in wax is embedded in it, and I'm just wrapping it and pulling it tightly, and I'm letting my warmth of my hands, my fingers, melt the wax a little bit into it, and that's going to be the thing that makes it stick onto the thing. So the stretching and the warmth of my fingers, and that, my friends,
It's beautiful.
thank you so much. I'm glad you like it. And something like that, if you made a few in different sizes and put it on a little bit of darling, you can sell it in your shop.
You want to make me another half a dozen, I'll do it.
You've got the technology, do your own.